The fact that I could fail never really occurs to me. Predominantly what I focus on is my objective, and that by putting in the work, I'll always get there. I was diagnosed with dyslexia at an early age, and what I found was none of the tuition was helping me with that. And as a consequence, every time I looked at a word, it looked different, which meant my brain couldn't learn to decode. So I had a rapid learning experience where I kept trying to read, but I was always going to be behind the eight ball because I'd literally missed out on 12 years of reading development. Regardless of the barriers, I've always just assumed that I can push through. And I really didn't have any other option. I had to start in sales. The job that I was working at, a real estate agency, went bankrupt just before Christmas. And I had no real option but door-to-door sales. And most people would probably back off and say, well, I'm not a salesperson, I don't have a gift of the gab. I didn't have an option, so I just learned how to sell. And day one of going out and selling for myself, I walked down a road, it's called Sydney Road, and there's about 400 different shops, probably more than that, probably closer to 1,000 different shops right next to each other. And I remember going to 93 doors before my first sale, and I'd only earned $100. And I couldn't imagine a life where I'd work that hard for $100. I don't remember thinking I should give up. I remember thinking that I needed to find another way. People are naturally better at certain things. However, I don't think that makes any difference. I always believe that over the long term, it's the person that puts in the work that makes it happen. It's the person that thinks smarter, the person that knows more. So what I did is I went to YouTube and I found a lot of selling videos. And the specific sales videos I found, I focused on the first element. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle. They go for help, but they try to fix everything at once, and that's a big problem. So I've always been very focused into specific things. And by the end of, I remember 3 weeks or 4 weeks in, I was out selling on a daily basis, the #1 performer in the country. And this was for the largest sales company in the Southern Hemisphere. My mindset is that the more I know, the more ability I have to be able to cope with all forms of circumstance. So there's a Japanese term called Kaizen, which to me means continuous improvement over your life, allows you to become better than most people. And I've spent years consuming books. I've spent years constantly developing myself. I was going to seminars when I was very young because I found that those things helped. There is never a stage in my life that I assume that everything that I know is everything that is to be known. I've always got my mind open to other things that are out there that could potentially bolt onto what I currently know, improve what I currently know, or completely change what I know and make me more successful.